When Surging Sparks released, it took the Pokemon card world by storm. It was a huge factor in the recent boom in card and sealed prices. We're going to take a look at the market, see where these prices have stabilized, and what cards are the biggest hits of the set. After that, we're going to open up some packs as well, so stay tuned to see if we score any of those big hits. If any of this type of content interests you, definitely recommend liking the video and subscribing to the channel. We do market analysis, pack openings, and we keep you up to date on the Pokemon TCG news. I'll be giving away one Surging Sparks pack to someone who likes and comments on the video and subscribes to the channel. Now, let's take a look at these cards. The first card we're going to take a look at today is the Phanpy. This is an illustration rare. It features Phanpy in the middle of a bunch of Donphan, looking like it's on a Savannah or Serengeti backdrop. When Surging Sparks came out, this card was listing around $12.50, and it plummeted really quick down to under $5. But ever since Pokemon cards have started going crazy, it slowly crept up, and now it's sitting at around $11.50. I think it's a really cool card. A little underrated in this set because of how many absolute awesome cards there are, but still a really cool card. Next, we're going to take a look at the Execute. This card has been the topic of discussion lately because it went absolutely crazy in comparison to where it was. It is just a normal illustration rare, but it features the Executes on what looks like a basketball court. When Surging first came out, you could have it for like 12.5, but then it plummeted down to 4.5 roughly. And in the span of like a few days, it went from 6.5 to over $15. It's come down a little bit, but it's making its way up slightly. It's sitting at almost $12. Cool card, definitely interesting artwork, and like many of the other illustration rares in Scarlet and Violet, it has seen an absolutely huge rise recently. Next, we have the Braviary, which is a much different art style. It almost looks like watercolors. An illustration rare as well. This card can be had currently at 13 and change. When Surging first came out, it was sitting at 11.50, plummeted down to under $4, around 3.5, but then it has crept up really nicely recently, hitting a high of almost 14. Cool card. I'm sure this would look awesome in a binder. And next we have the Skarmory. I love this card. I am a Volkswagen fan, and these kind of look like Volkswagen buses. Plus, it's very different from a lot of the other artwork I see on Pokemon cards. The metallic aspect going on here is really cool. And when Surging first came out, Skarmory was sitting at almost $27, but it fell all the way down to about 10 at one point and has slowly and nicely, I do say, compared to some of the other cards who see this like huge spike, this card has slowly risen over time to a high of about 20, but now can be had at around 18 and change. Really nice card. I have a couple of them myself. Next, we have the Ceruledge. We're starting to creep into the higher value cards here. Ceruledge is an illustration rare, and when it first came out, it was only around $31.96. Came down to about 16 and change. Hit a huge spike at the end of December, the end of the year, the beginning of 2025, around $42.73. And it kind of maintained a steady pace in the like 34 to 39 range. Currently, it's at 36.21. Awesome card, really cool Pokemon that a lot of people like, so I definitely should pick one up myself. Next, we're going to see our first trainer card, and that is Jasmine's Gaze. It is a special illustration rare. When Surging first came out, it was listed at $89. Only one item sold there, but immediately crept down to about 37 and change, and has had a nice kind of solid footing here in the like $40 to $45 range. Currently can be had for $41.45. Next, we have the Latios, which is an illustration rare. Awesome artwork, pairs well with another card that we'll see coming up here. Latios is a fan favorite, legendary Pokemon, so definitely a cool card to have. When Surging first came out, it was listed at almost $50, came down to 37, bounced back up to 45, dropped back down to 34, and has had a nice kind of back and forth rise to where it's sitting now at around 42 and change. Next up, we have the Alolan Executor EX, special illustration rare. When Surging first came out, this card was listed at $56.74. Had a really fast climb up to 101.37. Has slowly kind of decreased over time. and it's sitting at around $58 currently. When you compare it to where it kind of was for quite some time, it's actually at a pretty good price at the moment. In comparison, I don't know where this card will kind of settle, but since the end of last year, its high was like 73, now at 58. It's probably going to be in this like 50 to like 65 range for a little while, I would guess. Next up, we have another supporter card, this time the Alicia's Appeals Special Illustration Rare, featuring the Altaria in the back. Altaria is a fan favorite Pokemon, so this supporter is definitely highly sought after. When Surging first came out, it was being listed at $148, which is kind of wild. It immediately plummeted like most cards do after a little bit being on the market. It was at $60 at one point, bounced back up to $71, and has kind of maintained a $60-ish range for a little while now. It's currently sitting at $62.5. Next up, we have the Hydreigon Special Illustration Rare. I love Hydreigon. So this is a card that I'm definitely after when I rip some Surging Sparks packs. When Surging first came out, it was selling at roughly $120. Hit its sharp decline down to 74, a sharp rebound to about 109, and it's kind of been hovering in this $80 to $85 range for a little while. It's currently sitting at $88 and change. All right, next up, we have the first appearance of the star of the set, and that is Pikachu. This is the gold hyper rare version. There's the regular EX, there's another version, and then this gold Pikachu, and another version, which we all know will end up being the most expensive card on this list. But for now, we'll talk about the gold hyper rare. When this card first came out, it was only at $95. And then it jumped to 106, kind of crept down to 101, and then had a huge spike up to $200. And then it slowly kind of decreased, rebound a little bit, and now it's sitting at 100 and almost $13. I'm not a huge fan of gold cards, but this gold card is pretty cool because it does have a lot of colors going on, and of course, it's Pikachu. Next up, we have the Melodic EX Special Illustration Rare. I dig Melodic, so I'm definitely interested in this card when I rip Surging packs, obviously for its price point as well. And when Surging first came out, this card was only at around $96, came down to about 83 and change, and then had a huge rebound all the way up to 156, came down to 132, but has kind of rebounded and has stayed in the roughly 140 to 150 range, currently sitting at 147.81. This is an awesome card, a huge chase card in this set. I would love to pull it, and I think it's going to have a lot of long-term value because Melodic is definitely a beloved Pokemon. It's almost like another version of like Magikarp and Gyarados, and it has a ton of fans. Next up, we have the number 2 most expensive card in this set, and that is, of course, the Latias EX. Unlike its counterpart Latios, this card is a special illustration rare. Latias looking over the city down below, the sun beaming in its face, super awesome artwork. Awesome Pokemon. And when Surging first came out, this card first appeared at around $214, dropped down to $187, then hit a huge spike back up to $264, dropped down a little bit, but has been hovering around the $240 to $250 range. It's currently sitting at $249.61 market price. And this is going to be a long-term chase card for Scarlet and Violet. It is a massive hit, and it has incredible short-term and long-term value. People love Latios and Latias. They love to pair them together in their binders, whether they're in the same card or a separate card. If this card ends up dropping in any sort of significant way, value-wise, it's definitely going to be on my snipe list, but I'm currently kind of just like not really buying too many singles unless they're like pretty low price point, because the singles have seen an absolutely insane rise. But next and finally on our list is the number 1 chase of this set. It is the mascot of the set and of all of Pokemon, and that is the Pikachu Special Illustration Rare. This card is an absolute heavy hitter. People obviously love Pikachu. Everybody knows Pikachu, and this is one of Pikachu's biggest cards. When Surging first came out, the card was not even like on the graph almost. The price point here that it's saying is 305, so 3 items or 5 items sold between like 298 and 330. It ballooned up to 492 very, very quickly and has kind of hovered around this, like, I don't know, 450 to like 485, 490 mark. It's currently at 462, but this is going to be one of those cards that long term, short term, whatever term you want to talk about, it's just going to have insane value. It's the number 1 hit of this set and one of the biggest hits in all of Scarlet and Violet. So we kind of ran through a couple of the cards that I wanted to point out, but also kind of the top 10 most valuable cards in Surging Sparks. And with that being done, let's go and rip some packs. Okay guys, we just went through the Surging Sparks market update, and now we're gonna rip into some Surging Sparks packs because I believe these new tins from GameStop have Surging Sparks in them. First we have a Kyogre, then we have a Xerneas, and last we have a Dialga. Last time I opened those Zor Legends tins, I got a Kyogre and a Dialga, and I kept the Kyogre because I like Kyogre a lot, so I kept that tin. But this time I bought 2 Kyogres, 1 Xerneas, 1 Dialga. So kept the small Kyogre box to myself, and we get to open all 3 here together. All right, let's get our trusty Dull Blade and start opening. All right, while I completely mishandled getting this card out of this little cardboard sleeve, I think it's a great time for a little self-promotion. If you enjoy this content, guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel and like the video. I'm getting close to 200 subscribers, and I'd really appreciate it if you help me get there. I know I haven't put out much content in the past week, but my in real life job has been kind of kicking my ass lately, but hopefully that's turning around now, and I'll be able to put out a bunch more videos. All right, now back to the opening. Interesting way to get that card out, and of course it left a white mark. Trying to get it out, see if we can get out the other ones a little easier. And yes, we do have some Surging Sparks. So looks like in these tins we get Surging Sparks, Stellar Crown, and Temporal Forces. At least in the Dialga one, that's what we got. All right, Xerneas. Okay, let's see if I can take out this card a little better than the last one. Is this the better route? Just ripping it? Probably. Except catching it would probably be a little helpful. Code card. The Xerneas. Surging Sparks, Stellar Crown, Temporal. Alright, Kyogre. My favorite of the 3. Card. Kyogre EX. Surging, Stellar, Temporal. Okay. But, hey. At least you get 2 Surging Sparks packs. I think we'll do Temporal first. Then we'll go Stellar Crown. And last, we'll go Surging Sparks. Try to get that Pikachu. It was Snom. There's a Pikachu. Scyther. Iron Jugulus. Lycanroc. Salvatore. Bramblin. Bronzor. Torterra EX. A hit to start. Okay. This is already kind of going better than my last tin video where all we got was a Scovalian Full RDX, which is something, but we got no illustration, no special illustration, and the full art hit was not that great. Code card. Okay, Temporal. Pidove. Pinecone. Mawile. Meditite. Rabumbi. Rockruff Reverse. Sandy Shocks. And a Torterra EX full art, baby. Okay. Always loved Torterra. Always had a hard time picking between him and Empoleon when I played Diamond and Pearl or Platinum. Gen 4 just had such great starters between those two and Infernape. They need some... I mean, Infernape got an illustration rare, but my boy Empoleon needs some love. I mean, it's a steel and water type penguin who is modeled after Napoleon. Come on. It's a great Pokemon. Give it some love. Pokemon Company deserves a special illustration rare. All right, we got Victini, Bronzor, Mudbray, Ghastly, Sharpedo, Metagross, Roserade, Leaky Reverse, Roserade Reverse, and Melmetal Hollow. So, I mean, all in all, Temporal did us pretty good. On to Stellar Crown. Can we pull a Bulba or a Squirtle? Or an Eevee, maybe. Any of those would be great. I already pulled a Bulba, so that'd be cool to get a Squirtle. We have Clink, Hoot, Tauros, Swalot, Togedemaru, Marowak, Bonita Reverse, Dreadnought. Second pack of Stellar. Room, Riffloom, Link, Hoot, Lacey, Celebi, Electivire, Meditite, Clank, and the regular Hollow. Last pack of Stellar. Don't forget, we still have 6 packs of Surging Sparks left. Good card. Wooloo, Binion, Applin, Fletchling, Azumarill, Double, Swalot, Rapidash Reverse, Buffalant. Alright, Stellar was a bust. On to Surging. First pack of Surging Sparks. Give us a Pika. I'll take any of the Pikas. We have Yuzi, Smoochum, Skarmory, Simeon, Walrein, a Spec Miracle Headset, pretty nice, Tresna, and Dialga. All right, pack number 2 of Surging Sparks. Just did a nice market update on you, Surging. Come through for us. We have Mankey, Zebstrika, Meryl, Duskball, OO, Swablu Reverse, Primeape Reverse, Togekiss. Alright, pack number 3 of Stellar, or of Surging. Stunfisk, Shellos, Dedenne, Mankey, Tauros, Xerneas, Tapu Koko Reverse, and a Slacking EX. That's a start. That's a start. All right. Last 3 packs. All right, Pansear, Oranguru, Vulpix, Swablu, Altaria, Vivillon, Execute Reverse, Simisear Reverse, Eternatus, Hollow. Last 2 packs. Code card. I don't think I've ever gotten a single real hit other than like a regular EX from Surging. Quaxley, Larvesta, Mankey, Walrein, Magnezone, Goldango, Quaxley Reverse, Trapinch Reverse, Trapdos. Alright, last pack of Surging Sparks. This is such a cool set, but I feel like I've just never gotten anything good out of it. Let's see if last pack magic can change it. Quaxley, Zangoose, Oricorio, Scatterbug, Wuchen, Magneton, Larvesta, Eternatus. Our hits from 3 tins. Gonna be Kyogre, which came with the tin, Xerneas, which came with the tin, Dialga, which came with the tin, a Slacking EX, an A-Spec Miracle headset, a Torterra EX, and a Torterra EX full art. And that is going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed the market update. I hope you enjoyed the pack openings. If you did, drop a like on the video and definitely subscribe for more content similar to this, where we, again, do market updates, pack openings, and update you on the latest Pokemon card news. So yeah, I've been NJ Pokemart. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.